and answers. We now invite to the honor panel of the International Fishery Seminar the following entities: Nils Martin Vonneguer, the ambassador of Norway in Brazil; Mr. Davison Souza, Adjunct Secretary for Fisheries and Fishing Activities; Mr. Enrique Ana Cardoso Ramos, Coordinator of Sustainable Usage of Fishery Resources with the Ministry of the Environment; the Fishery Secretary of the City of Itajaí, here representing the Mayor Rony Morastone, Mr. Valmir Motorin; Mr. Carlos Eduardo Villaça, the Technical Director of the National Organization of Fishery and Seafood Organizations, CONEPI; Mr. Jorge Neves, President of the Syndicate of Shipyards and Fishing Industry in the Itajaí and in the area, SINDIPI, the host to our event; and to welcome you all, we'll now hear the President of SINDIPI and the host of our event, Mr. Jorge Neves. Good morning, and good morning to all of you. Today I'm going to break with protocol to express the gratitude and to thank you and for the invitation that CONEPI made to SINDIPI. We will now hear the Norwegian ambassador, Mr. Nils, an excellent person. We were yesterday in the evening and we talked. And to express my gratitude, I'd like to give him the microphone first. This is Portuguese. Well, I'm in Brazil. I have been in Brazil for 6 weeks now. And I speak a little bit Portuguese, but unfortunately, I still need to speak in English, so you will have to have your headsets on. Switching to Portuguese now.
Secretary Davison Souza, President Jorge Neves, Cardoso Villaça, fellow panelists, and dear ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be present at an event here at the SINDIPI. An event that focuses on one of the core industries of Norway. It's also the very basis of Norwegian and Brazilian trade over the last 2 centuries. Fisheries is actually where the cooperation between Norway and Brazil began. You all know, I suppose, that bacalhau from Norway and coffee from Brazil has been the backbone of Norwegian-Brazilian trade cooperation for since the 1840s. Yes, please sit. When there was a ship called the Northern Star that arrived in Rio de Janeiro in the 1840s with dried cod. And it went back to Norway with coffee and sugar. And since then, that trade has been flourishing. So today, Norway trades about 30,000 tons of dried salted codfish, bacalhau, into Brazil every year, making Brazil the biggest market of this type of product for Norway. So this trade has been possible because Norway is blessed with a large, attractive fish stock that is very close to our shores. So close, actually, that fishermen in ancient times could even use rowing boats to get their capture. But having abundant natural resources doesn't necessarily lead to long-term success and growth. So as we've seen many places around the globe, Norwegian fisheries is a vital and strong industry because the fish stocks have been carefully maintained and managed through governmental bodies that use research as the foundation for their decisions. And not to forget, all the time in close cooperation with the industry itself. Industry, government, and research need to be working together in all sectors that manage natural resources, because common assets such as fish, gold, or oil for that matter need to be extracted sustainably. Only then can it benefit not the few but the many over generations. And what makes fish stand out as a particularly valuable commodity is that if we manage it carefully, if we do it correctly, it lasts us eternally. So I believe our groups of fisheries experts from Norway are here to share the Norwegian story with you. We're not here to teach you how to do it, because it needs to be Brazilians that figure out how to do this in Brazil. But we're here to share our experience on what we did, how we failed, and how we succeeded. And it's the same for us than for everybody else. The failures are often the thing that you learn most from. So, but in the end, the Norwegian fishing industry transformed from a rural, subsidized sector with poor financial results to a modern, profitable industry that is managed in a way that is sustainable. So as I said, it's the Brazilians that know best what gains Brazil and what is actually possible in terms of changing the Brazilian fisheries. Our role is to share our story and our experiences so that you can better decide if some of these solutions can be made to work for you too. So I wish you all an excellent seminar. Thank you.